Hello everyone, we are doing a DIY for fall, and I'm going to call this a Dollar Tree DIY because the majority of the stuff came from Dollar Tree. Alright, I got this idea from two different places actually. Okay, I bought this from Hobby Lobby, okay, a while ago, and it goes in my bathroom. And you can see the burlap flower, and then the base, and then the top, and a candle goes on it. All right, so I started thinking, how could I make something like that for fall? Well, then the Magnolia Housewife comes in. So I looked, and she was doing a DIY, and it went along with this candle holder to a degree. So what I did, okay, is I took a Dollar Tree candle holder, and this one I had, and I can't remember, maybe this came from the Dollar Tree too, I'm not sure, maybe, I don't remember. Anyway, I spray painted them with that rub oil bronze from Rust-Oleum. I love that spray paint. Then I had these, and these are just little gold kind of like little saucers for this tiny little espresso cups. And so I went ahead and just spray painted the tops because I was running out of the paint, and I wanted to make sure to be able to get these done. Let me bring it down a little bit. I always try to get an angle where you can see everything. Okay, I think you can. All right, so I spray painted those. Okay, then, like you saw in my haul, remember I got these pumpkins? So what I did is I took the stem off of both of them. I am going to make candle holders out of these, and this will follow me through the fall season. Not sure if I'm going to use the raffia in any way, but what I'm going to do is with some lace I had and these LED candles from the Dollar Tree. I love these. These are great. I'm going to put some lace because I want kind of a farmhouse fall theme, if you will, with these. And then I'm in a little bit of a dilemma because I don't know if I want a pop of color with all that is just being very neutral, or if I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of my antique white. And this is Anita's All-Purpose from Hobby Lobby. I use this, as you can tell, it's very well used. You know, I think I will. So, get some candlesticks, spray paint them if you want. Now you can leave them clear. I mean, you can do whatever you want with them. You could leave them clear and just shabby them up with lace instead of jute or raffia. But this is the way I'm going to do it. So let's move the rest of this out of the way. Only going to use a couple leaves. And I think what I need to do is get my glue stick. I'll get the paint ready and then I'll paint these. I'll be right back. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and I don't know if I'm going to completely paint them. I might just, yeah, I'm not going to take away all the color, but just tone it down a bit. Now you could paint this completely and be done with the color altogether. Guys, they're getting more and more of a handle on the fires. Helicopters went by and that's what reminded me. Thank God. And the houses in Lake Elsinore and Riverside, I believe they were able to save all houses. I know some of the cabins in Holy Gym where that idiot started the fire. people lost their cabins, unfortunately. But haven't heard too much more on him yet. But yes, thank God. Bless those firefighters, honestly. You know, I mean, they're risking their lives every time they get in that plane or helicopter. And when I tell you 24/7, it was unbelievable. I mean, at times it sounded like a war zone. I mean, it was just non-stop. And a couple nights it was all night long for the planes. And the helicopters would start in at just around 9 o'clock in the morning, and they wouldn't stop until almost 8 o'clock at night. And I'm talking, not even a minute would go by when one would be passing the other. So, God bless them. Okay, so I'm almost done. Taking off a little bit. Got so many DIYs to do, and because of these fires, I mean, I was just so, just heartsick, you know. And it's so unnerving when you hear those going overhead. And I guess my house and my two next door neighbors on each side of me, we were the flight path, I guess, because they would come directly over, and then they would come to the side of us to go back into the canyon. But to go over to get the water, they were going over our houses. Well, when you see them so close and how big they are, and you're thinking, oh dear God, I hope you got some rest. It would just take one time of just one mistake, and they could crash into these houses, you know, and you can't help but think about that, you know. So to try to get any kind of DIYs done, you know what I mean? Can you imagine? Okay, here we are. Yes, I'm doing, oh, hold on. Yep, another, oh, I couldn't do it. I mean, it was just, like I said, it was unnerving. Anyway, okay, so that's all I'm going to do with these. I just toned down the color a little bit. And I don't want all that plastic on there. And I just took one of the leaves off of this pick from Dollar Tree. All right. So I'm going to really quick wash my hands. I'll be right back. Oh, gotta get my breath. You guys, you should see it. I have my fall candle lit on my end table in my craft room. And I have Charlie Brown. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And guys, this is what I do in the dog days of summer to get myself into the mode of doing DIYs. I will do this, and then when I start doing more Christmas ones, I'll put on Christmas music and light a Christmas candle. And that is the truth of the matter. I really will. But that's okay because I love it, so it's no big deal. I remember my kids when they would come home when they were in school, you know, younger. My youngest daughter loved it. She always loved it. But she's my one that just, well, her and my oldest son adore Disneyland. And when I say adore Disneyland, she went to be a princess, and out of 500, she made it. And what stopped her is she was going to have to, what they do at Disneyland, and I'm sure a lot of you know it, but they do their practicing and everything in the middle of the night because they can't do it during the days, so they do it at night. And we live, like I said, we live about 25 minutes from Disneyland, but she already had an obligation with VBS, and she couldn't have done it. They said, you know, we have to have you here. And she had worked as one of the teachers at VBS for years. And she's the type, when she makes a commitment, and oh, she was so heartbroken. Because, I mean, I remember her going to all the auditions. And it was Aurora, I think it was Aurora, Belle, and, oh shoot, was it Little Mermaid? They tried on all three so she could do all of those princesses. Anyway, all that to say, they go to Disneyland a lot, and my son as well. I mean, he's a grown man, and they just had their first baby, and he's so excited to take Hudson to Disneyland. Well, he's only 2 months old, but those two, when they get together and go to Disneyland, oh my gosh, you have not experienced it until you go with them. And Daisha knows every hidden Mickey, and so she'll always tell Jason where the next one is, you know, and so they're always laughing about it. So they used to go together once in a while before she was married and him, but they used to have a good time going. And my other kids, they like it, but not like those two. Why did I get off on that? Why do I do that, you guys? I get off on these tangents and then I forget. Oh, just telling you how she was, that she loved it. But anyway, yeah, she would love when she'd come home from school, and she still would tell me this, even as a married woman with kids of her own. Her favorite was when she would come home and I would have the house decorated for fall or Christmas, and she'd walk in and it would all be done. She used to love not expecting it, you know. Now it takes me more than one day. I guess I'm just getting old and I don't have the stamina that I used to. Okay, so I think I only want to put one on each one instead of two. Okay, I'm going to let that dry just a little bit. I've had this lace forever. And I'm just going to glue a little bit, because the reason I do that is if I want to take it off, I can. But because these have a waxy substance to them, it's really not a problem because it doesn't really adhere that well anyway. Ow. But it sure does adhere to my fingers. As a matter of fact, this is not going to adhere very well at all. So, thank goodness, I'm going to it's not adhering at all. Well, hopefully it'll just stick enough until I can get, yeah, I think it'll stay on enough to where I can, that's okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this jute from Walmart. I'm telling you, this is the best jute. And it was, I can't remember if it was $3.97, somewhere around $3 or $4. This has lasted me now over a year. Okay, so I'm just now going to around a couple times. I have to have enough to be able to tie a knot. A little bit short, that's okay. Just as long as I can get that knot in there. Okay, cool. All right. Alright, so even if that didn't stay glued, it's no problem because I have it adhered to with this jute. Alright, so now I don't know if I want to tie some of this around here or if I want to do some raffia. I'm not gonna glue it in case I want to use this for something else. So what I'll do is I will just tie it. That's another thing, guys. If, for whatever reason, and whatever, you know, you could be painting this whatever color. I mean, who knows? Because I have some of these a cream color for my shabby look and these for my farmhouse look. Or it could be for a Tuscan look, too. I I don't glue it because if I want to take this off and say I want to put lace or something else, I don't have to worry about the paint coming off from gluing it and making it more permanent. Because, I mean, how many candlesticks can you paint and have around the house? I mean, I have to kind of repurpose the same thing when I can. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue this jute onto itself. So all I have to do is just cut it if I don't want it here at some point in time. So it won't be on the actual candlestick. And I have it wrapped enough times to where the glue won't seep into the glass. So let that stick just for a minute and we will be in business to go on. Alright. Okay. So, I have that done. Okay, now, if you just wanted to do this, you could. And you could just put a couple of leaves down by it. That's pretty. Or you could have it go all the way around, or you could make a thing out of these by gluing them. Just put the candle inside of it. So there's one way that you could do it. Okay? 2 pumpkins and they're 2 different colors. And I did that deliberately. So I'm going to find the side that seems as flat as I can get it so it isn't so wonky when I put the top on it. Another thing, I believe Magnolia Housewife, she put one of the glass candle, you'll have to go over to her channel, I'll put her link below, I mean her channel, but she used a bigger one. So in other words, the pumpkin was covered more. I deliberately, because I have those candle plates as well, but I wanted this because I wanted the pumpkin to show more. So that's why I did that. Because I also could have used a candle plate, but I chose to have it show more. Okay, so now that leaf is going to make this kind of, well, not really, I guess. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue a tiny bit of the pumpkin to the leaf. So the leaf and the pumpkin will be glued together. That's all I'm going to do. So I can take this pumpkin off and not ruin everything by gluing it so much that it's really going to be harder to take off if I wanted to. So I'm just going to do it right there. But it'll be enough to where it's not just going to fall over. You know what I mean? Now, if I was using a regular candle that was heavy, I would probably make it permanent because I wouldn't want it falling over, especially if it was lit. And since these are so light, I'm not too worried. And also, I mean, if you had little kids and you were moving this, you know, from the table, or you had kids playing around and stuff, yeah, then I probably would make it more permanent. But in my case, you know, I don't have to worry about that. So I think I'm going to leave it just as is. I could put a little bit more glue by the end of this. I wonder if I should go with 2 leaves. Because I can still get it in there because it's not glued. Yeah. Maybe I will do 2. Yeah, I guess I will. I'll do 2. Okay, I decided to go with 2 leaves instead of 1. And then I think, I don't know yet, but of course you'll be with me when I show you for my fall home tour where I put these. I might put a couple more of these leaves on the side like I showed you that you could do, you know what I mean? So I might do that as well. So now let's put the top on, and there you go. So I think that that makes a really cute, let me get up here so you can see it a little bit better. I think that makes a cute candle holder with the pumpkin, and you can see the pumpkin very well. And like I said, the leaves, look at the difference in the color just by putting that white. It just mutes it somewhat so it isn't so bright. Now you could leave them, I mean, because I do like this vibrant color, which will also be in my decor. But if you want more of that muted farmhouse, I think this works perfectly. So do the next one a little bit different, meaning I might put some of the raffia. Okay, I'm going to get my stuff together for the next one, and I'll be back. Okay, with this small one, because I want them different heights, I just wrapped a little bit of this jute around the bottom, and I'm going to glue it again just on itself. Okay, I just painted the leaf. I'm letting it dry. And when you use raffia, you can make it go further. Okay, these pieces right here, what you can do is you can pull them apart. Okay, see, like this one, where you just pull it, and if you keep doing that, you're going to get more pieces, which in turn is going to give you a fuller bow when you put it all together. Let me pull this apart too. That's what I do with mine anyway, because I like that fuller, and you don't have to use as much. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll fold it, if it's long enough, I'll fold it and even make it thicker. But again, it just depends on what you're doing and how full and all that. Okay, so the leaf should be pretty well dry. Got this done. So let's put, and this is a really fast DIY. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a minute. Okay. Put some lace on this one, because I could leave the lace on these and just change out. If I didn't want the jute tied around the lace, I could put more lace around it, ribbon, whatever, because I do like that look. This will come off easy. Yeah, those are cute. What you could do is you could make a few of these and then get a swag, you know, a autumn swag, and lay it down on a table and put these in and out of the swag on a table. That'd be pretty. Like a centerpiece, you know? My jute. Wrapped around a couple times. This one, I think, I might put a bow. So what do you think? And like I said, just a dab of glue even on this pumpkin. This would pull apart very easy and it wouldn't ruin anything. Just to give it a little bit of stability. Actually, I wished I would have done this before, but that's okay. It's a little bit more cumbersome to try to... You know what? I think I'm going to put it with this bow is what I'm going to do. I like that. I was going to put it down there, but I didn't like it as well. This one too. And then we'll be done. Since I don't have a bow on this one, I'll put a little bit more raffia. Yes. So there you go. Let's turn them on. How pretty is that, you guys? Look. Obviously this one was just new, so this one still works, but it's not quite as bright. But nevertheless, I really like these. So guys, I hope you'll try. Me know. And remember, until our next DIY, the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget that. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.